Hey everyone, please support what I do to help keep Greyhawk alive by subscribing to the channel. Also, please consider becoming a channel member to get early access to videos, exclusive live chats, quarterly adventure modules, and more. Thanks, and enjoy the show. So, Chris Cox, who's a chief executive over at Hasbro, had some things to say about D&D the other day, and I thought it was worth exploring today on Greyhawk Grognard. So, over at Games Radar, there was an article, Hasbro admits it misfired with D&D OGL and was too aggressive with Magic the Gathering pricing. I'll put a link to the whole article below. What I'm going to focus on is at the very, very bottom of the article, and I'm going to read it to you now. Plans for the long-teased D&D virtual tabletop service also continue unabated. Cox, the chief executive at Hasbro, mentions that it's on track for launch in 2024, claiming, quote, "We are seeing exciting possibilities in all new virtual tabletop that unlocks new consumer value choices." We'll get to that in a second. Brings imaginations to life, taps into the scale effects of user-generated content. We will also get to that. And creates seamless remote and in-play possibilities across phones, PCs, and tablets with a AAA graphics and intuitive controls. Okay. So what does that mean? It's a lot of business speak, but the two phrases that jump out are consumer value choices and scale effects of user-generated content. Let's take the first one. Consumer value choices. What does that mean, consumer value choices? Consumer value is the perception that consumers have of the value of what they're buying, right? So if something is perceived to be more valuable, well, then it's more likely that consumers will purchase it. And you can build consumer value, the perception of value, in a number of different ways. You can, the classic example would be, you can have a shiny gold armor on your character avatar in our virtual tabletop, and this will only cost you another 50 cents or 99 cents or whatever. So it's what is commonly referred to as microtransactions. So they're very much still on board that microtransaction train. That is part of their thing. They, even after the whole GL thing, and they're giving stuff up to the Creative Commons and such, they have not lost sight of that. That is still their plan. They want to increase consumer value so that consumers will perceive extra value and choose choices to purchase things in their virtual tabletop. This is microtransactions. This is pay us extra money and you will get a benefit in the VTT. It might be something completely cosmetic. It might be something that's actually has value in the game, like you spend extra money and you get a +1 sword. We don't know yet. That's all, we don't have those details yet. But we do know that is what they're doing. They are planning on unlocking new consumer value choices. And that means giving choices for consumers that they perceive have value. And that means microtransactions. That means drip, 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 drip. We want to nickel and dime you and make you spend money on a constant treadmill so that you're constantly getting bennies on the VTT. That is what they're doing. It is they say it out loud in this article. The other thing is the scale effects of user-generated content. Let's go to the second half of that phrase first. User-generated content is, unsurprisingly, content that is generated by users. That's us. That's the players. That's the GMs. They want to use that content, and they want to monetize it. They want to tap into the scale effect of user-generated content. What does that mean? Scale effect means as you have more of them, it scales up. You get more money as more people are doing this. Basically, what this is talking about from what I can tell from the phrase, is they want users of the VTT, like me and you and players and GMs and so forth, to create content. And then they're going to, and as more people create more content, it scales up. So if they've got 100 people creating content that they can then monetize to other people on the VTT, that's one thing. But if they can do that onto 1,000 people or 10,000 people or 100,000 people, that's scaling. That is the scale effect. They're scaling it up. They're making more money from more people creating more content for them for free. Because, in fairness, they don't say for free. They might indeed pay, there might be a revenue stream for the people creating the content. Just like on DM's Guild. They can use the stuff that you put up there, but you get money for it. Or stuff that's that's a bad example because they don't have ownership of the stuff, but they're probably going to have an arrangement where you create content, they have the right to use it, which is, you'll notice, something that they wanted to have in that OGL 1.1. I'm very sure, based on scale effects of user-generated content, that user-generated content has to come from somewhere, and that's you. You are the users. You are the users generating the content that they want to tap into at scale. So they want to make money on you creating stuff on their VTT. And they think they can do that by making it open to more and more and more people, scaling it. So based on what Mr. Cox says here in this article, that's what they want to do with this VTT, and that's probably why they don't care about about giving up rules and SRDs into the Creative Commons, because from their perspective, that's a drop in the bucket compared to the oceans of cash that they expect to make by unlocking new consumer value choices, by giving you more choices that you perceive to have value that they can sell you in the VTT, and by taking the content that you create and tapping into it at scale. That is what these two phrases say to me. It's honestly, I don't have a dog in this hunt because I have no interest in using a VTT. I certainly have no interest in using their VTT that's coming in 2024. I'm going to be playing with people and books at a table with dice. That's just me. That's how I like to play. I don't like to play on VTTs. I've tried it. I loathe it. But they think they're going to get a lot more people on this VTT that they can get money from in the microtransactions and then turn around and sell stuff that they create to other people and generate revenue that way. And I would not be a bit surprised if they thought that they could lose 90% of people, of their current user base. And as long as they can monetize the hell out of that remaining 10% on this VTT, they have probably calculated that they can still make more money. So that's a supposition on my part, but based on what they're saying and what they've done, they've given away the rules, and you don't give away something that you perceive has value. If you give it away, you think it's not worth anything, right? It's like your old Christmas tree. You don't put your old Christmas tree on the side of the road because you think it has value. In the same way, they put their rules into the Creative Commons, I believe, because they perceive that those rules don't have value compared to what they expect to get from this VTT. That's where I think they're going. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on my interpretation of these two phrases. And I'd love to also hear what you say about the article as a whole. And hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.